this campaign. And when you build that kind of momentum, it's very difficult to dampen these dreams of Newcastle fans at the moment.
Yeah, and they've got the fans behind them. As we've seen the group after the game finished out there all together, and they brought the fans in with that. There's certain clubs that, when you get that going, and certainly Newcastle's one of them, they you know, that 13th man sort of feeling, the 12th man feeling of the fans behind you. They've always been really good, passionate supporters, but now they can actually see something developing in front of them. And I think for that, they will, you know, they will take a couple of defeats here and there because they can see the effort. It's not like it's not hopeless. They can actually see the process that they're going through, the team's going through, and they're with them all the way.
You know about the level of expectancy up there as well. And there'll be people screaming that say, yeah, well, they've had the biggest net spend, they've had all them, but it's how you spend it, the players you bring in, and in Eddie Howe's case, how you integrate them into a team and a squad.
100%, because I don't think Eddie Howe and his team have listened to the noise, because there was a lot of noise when they got taken over, who they're going to sign, superstars of world football. But they've signed not only good players, they've signed players with the right mentality, and I think that always helps when you integrate them into a squad. Now, yeah, he spent a lot of money, but when you look at the improvements that squad's make, the line of Kieran Trippier, people questioned his motives. He's now their captain, leader. Dan Burnett, left back from Brighton, Sven Botman, Bruno Guimaraes, who's kind of the icing on the cake. He signed such good players with such good mentalities that they are all together. So even when they do, maybe they've only lost once at Liverpool, which they're unfortunate to lose, they're still that togetherness there, and they just take it with them wherever they go. And then when you then look at what Newcastle have had for the last couple of seasons, when they weren't happy, the fans, with the owner and the previous manager, they're all on side now, and that is an incredible tough place to go, St James's Park. But then when you carry that 3,000 fans with them on the road as well, and they're behind the team, and you run, you kick every ball, you head every ball, they will do all that with you. So Newcastle at the minute are making their fans proud, they're making themselves proud, and they're turning into a very, very good team that a lot of people said that if they could finish inside the top 8 this season, that would be a really good season. I think they could probably go one step further.
7.
Yeah.
I was trying to work that out.
No, but I'm thinking maybe potentially...
You were just trying to work your maths out.
Maybe Europe. I mean,
yeah.
Well, 7th is a form of
yes,
Europe,
but I think 6th Europa League is probably... I think they could do that for sure.
Yeah.
100%. They're putting consistency together as well, so there's no reason why they can't.
And is it always a case, not just the players you bring in, that the way he's made players better? Joe Linton is an obvious one. Fabian Schär at the back. He's made players that were already there better.
Absolutely. And when you see a coach making a decision like that, as a player who's not involved in that, say a right back or a left back, and he sees, hang on a minute, he's just seen something with Joe Linton and pulled him back and playing him in a different role, and you go, wow. You look at him and all of a sudden you go, he's got something. He knows what he's talking about, and you can see ideas. So when he comes to you and say, you know, I think maybe this, you kind of take it on board and assess it and go, actually, some managers, you know, you listen to him and you go, I'm not so sure about that. And although he says something, and I don't want to name names, but there was one I played under at Arsenal, and he wasn't there very long. You can work it out for who he is yourself.
What year was that?
In between two managers being there a long time. There was, and when he came in and said certain things to us, we were like, really? I don't know, you know, and we didn't buy into his way of playing, his philosophy. And so straight away, you kind of, everything's with a pinch of salt. And when you've got the players acting like that, the team's got no chance. You'll get through on ability and bits, but you won't go and actually push and win stuff and be the maximum of what you can be. So you have to buy into the coach. And I think with decisions like that, the players have looked at Eddie and gone, this guy knows what he's talking about.
I think even with, you've got to give credit to people like Joe Linton as well, because some players would have gone, he's not playing me in my natural position, although I think that is probably his natural position, and gone, no, I'm not having this, and down tools. It's almost like he's been moved into that position and he's going to show everybody.
Yeah, you use it as an excuse,
exactly,
don't you?
Yeah,
a bad game.
You go, oh no, yeah, that's not my natural position. But you can see that he's thrived playing that position. But knowing him as well, Miguel Almiron, I mean, the transformation in his form, he was almost the butt of the jokes. Like, they paid a lot of money for him. He's not good enough. Again, Eddie Howe must have given this guy so much confidence. He's now doing his goal at Fulham. Like a couple of years back, he never scores that. But the goal at Fulham, his goal today, great finish, composure. He's another one who deserves an awful lot of credit, because he could have been one that says, start of this season, enough's enough. I've had my time. I need to leave. But he's got his head down. He wants to show everyone he's a good player. And for me, he's been one of their standout players this season.
How many behind Haaland is he?
Who, Almiron?
I tell you.
No. Well, before we see Almiron's goal, Callum Wilson 4 in 8 in the Premier League again this season. Strikers Union against Goalkeepers Union. No discussion for you on the first.
No, absolutely it's a goal. But again, I blame Hugo Lloris for this goal because clear it, make a decision, and he does neither. He just kind of gets it, hits his midriff, and he runs into Callum Wilson and falls over. No foul whatsoever. But it's all about Callum Wilson then, the composure. He knows exactly where the goal is, the technique, just to lift it over the goalkeeper who's just in front of him. And I think it's Eric Dyer behind him. Really, really good finish. As I said, most strikers there lash the ball, think, oh, hit and hope. It's such a composed finish, the right weight of the clip. Fantastic finish, but no foul whatsoever.
The thing is with that, if Eric Dyer here goes back to the line as soon as that happens, and forget about putting his hand up and going, is it a foul? You just get back on the line. He would have stopped that. So, yeah, play to the whistle. Yeah. You know, you tell all the kids to play to the whistle, and he didn't there. But I don't think it's a foul at all. I think he just runs into him. Doesn't have to get out of the way, and he didn't. And it was a brilliant finish from him.
Yeah, because a lot of people, maybe not strikers, but a lot of people would have flashed at that and they wouldn't have found the target. How difficult that to keep your composure in that kind of situation?
Extremely, because we all know that's not his strong foot either. That's his weaker side, but it's just about the confidence obviously is there, just getting a good connection on it as well, just a clean strike on it. Don't try to hit it too hard, as you said there, because certain times you panic, you think, I've got an open goal there, just hit it as hard as you can and hope that it goes in. He was composed, calm. That last little bit of quality clipped it over the goalkeeper and the defender's head. Really, really good finish.
Do you know what probably helped him as well? He probably thought the foul was going to be given, so he's thinking, I'll just
relax, even more relaxed.
I'll just put it in the net and see what happens. You know what I mean? Because here now, there's the foul, and he's probably waiting for the whistle. Do you know what? I'll just put it in. It's a brilliant finish.
Do you know what's nice about that as well? Too many times goalkeeper gets those type of decisions, and it annoys me because I think all goalkeepers have got to do nowadays is go to the ground and they get their decision. It's nice that finally we've seen where it could have probably gone either way, but I think it's the right decision. He hasn't got the foul. He's been punished.
And he's 1 in 2 again this season in the Premier League when he's been available, Callum Wilson.
Has to be knocking on the England door. Has to be. I know the World Cup's coming up thick and fast, but listen, he's as good as form as anyone. Ivan Toney's playing well. Kane, we know, is the #1. You've got Tammy over there in Italy. He's got to be in the discussion.
Yeah, he's definitely in. I would imagine his name's been mentioned several times over the last period of time, and why not? Because you've just named the ones that Harry's a shoe-in, and then it's who else he's going. I think if he can stay fit, and be the best he can physically, then he's got every attribute centre forward needs. I hope he's not listening. Oh, he is.
As if by magic. Callum Wilson joins us live. We've got 2 men getting you on the plane to Qatar here, Callum.
Oh, I love it, lads.
Before we get to yourself, what another great win. How did that feel at the end? We saw the scenes, the togetherness with the players and the fans.
Yeah, it means so much, I think. Last season, it took us a while to get our first win of the season, and then this year we've tried to just take it game by game and build on how we finished the back end of last season, and we've done that. And long may it continue, but we need to keep our feet on the ground at the same time.
Right, let's get your view then on 1-0 with the goalkeeper.
It's a great finish, eh, lads? You'll be proud, Menty.
What was going through your mind here when Hugo Lloris came out?
Just to, obviously slow my feet down, because I could see he was gonna chest it, but at the end of the day, I have nowhere to go, and he's kind of chested it and then jumped into me. It's a great ball by Fabio. I don't think he meant it to play it to me. I actually tried to get out of the way by the looks of it there as well. But yeah, instinctive finish, I think.
We both in the studio thought it wasn't a foul. Obviously, because in my Arsenal connection, there's nothing to do with it. But you don't have to get out of his way, and you did try to slow down and virtually stop. So we thought it was a perfectly good goal, and he took it extremely well.
Thank you. I think sometimes the goalkeepers get too much love, and they're quick to blow the whistle anytime you touch them. If it's in the area, he'll probably get given as a foul, but I think he's come all the way out, and like you said, I don't have to get out of the way. I just stood my ground, and he's jumped into me, and we've gone 1-0 up.
Callum, I know you're the top scorer and you've got other options, but I must ask you about Miguel Almiron, because he's had his critics. 5 goals in his first 64 games. He's now got 5 in 5, and some of the finishes we've seen at Fulham and again today. How pleased the rest of the lads for him? Yeah,
we're so happy for him, because he works so hard. In his overall performance, and he probably just needed to add goals and assists to his game, and this season he's done that. You know, obviously, long may it continue for him. He's on fire at the moment. If he didn't score, I was going to kill him, to be honest. Because I was square for a tap in, but no, it's a great finish. He's got some goal of the month contenders in there this month by himself. So yeah, we're delighted to have him, and he's full of confidence at the moment, which is helping the team.
Callum, I've got to speak about you again. Listen, you're scoring goals, you look fit, you look strong. Surely at the back of your mind there must be England aspirations. The World Cup's around the corner. I mean, is that something you're looking at, you're concentrating on?
I think, yeah, one eye is on that course. Any striker who's English and has got an opportunity at the moment to kind of, you know, showcase their ability to try and get into the squad. I'm trying to do that, but it's only going to happen by focusing on Newcastle. For me, I'd love to represent England again. You know, it's obviously a highlight of my career a few years ago, and I want to get back there. And a few injuries have been here and there, which is, you know, been disappointing. But I think now I feel good, I feel strong, and yeah, I think there's an opportunity there. To be honest, there's not many strikers that will running behind like myself. So hopefully I'll add something different if I can stay fit and keep my form up.
Callum, just give us a little insight into what's going on behind the scenes with Eddie Howe as far as what he's done, what he's created there. I hate the word process, but there seems to be one going on where all the players are buying into it. What's the difference been, the key difference?
You know, the managers took over when we was in a difficult position, so it was probably all about staying in the league first season. Throughout pre-season, you know, we've built on the philosophy, playing out from the back, adding different set-piece routines and different things to our game, and also alongside with that, we've added a culture. You know, everyone's bought into what we're trying to do, and we've added to that with players and their ability as well. And I think it's all going in the right direction, and we're keeping our feet on the ground. But he's an unbelievable manager, and he's getting the best out of the players at the moment.
Yeah, and you'd obviously worked with him before. It's very difficult at the moment to temper the excitement with these Newcastle fans. You go to bed tonight, you look at the table, you're in the Champions League spots at this stage for the first time in 11 years.
Yeah, it's early days, lads. I think obviously, yeah, you know, as players, you'd love to play in the Champions League, but I think it's one game at a time. We're in great company, and yeah, we just need to make sure that we're beating teams in and around us, and games against the teams around the bottom half of the league, we need to be winning. I think, you know, today it was an all-round performance, probably one of the best that we've had this season and in a long time, really. Just from everyone digging in from that point of view as well, when it was you know, all backs to the wall late on.
And just finally, you're difficult to beat as well. Just that Liverpool defeat, which I know was a difficult one to take all season. They're the only team to beat you.
Yeah, I have to give massive credit to the guys at the back. You can see at the end how much it means to them. I think those guys have been working hard on the training field. You know, sometimes they're out in training 15, 20 minutes before we even come out as attackers, so they're all working on shape, and you know, they've got a structure going on there, and you know, long may it continue. And I think that's given us the platform then to go and win games, and the attacking players to go and express ourselves.
Callum, very well done today. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Well done, mate.
Cheers, take care.
Callum Wilson live for you from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So Spurs did get one back early into the second half. At that stage, did you think, oh, maybe for your former club?
Yeah, I did. I thought, you know what it's like at that stadium as well, the momentum, Spurs get themselves back into the game. Typical Harry Kane goal, really clever play, striker's finish, just a gambling at that back post, and the amount of times the ball someone gets the first contact and it just flashes him, and you see it here, Harry Kane, 1-1 with Trippier, it always flashes across that 6-yard box, and sometimes there's no one there, but he's always there, Harry Kane, in his position, and it's a simple header in the end. Looks quite basic, but gets himself in there. He's never going to miss from there. And when they got that one back, I did think, here we go, they'll start to get a bit of momentum now, start to flood a few men forward, start to get a few more opportunities on goal. And to be fair, it just didn't materialise. Like, they got this good time there to get the goal, 54 minutes, still a large portion of the game to go. But after that, they didn't really create too much, no really clear-cut chances. And Newcastle were quite comfortable. So I think if you're Antonio Conte and you get yourselves back into the game, you're probably thinking, what more could I have done? What more substitutions could I have done to try and get us back into the game? But to be fair, they huffed and puffed. But when you say about real quality, I think it was a severe lack of it today.
Just one quick question. Why is the right-back picking up Harry Kane at the corner? What's the answer to that?
I don't know, because I always used to stand on the post because they never moved.
I was just about to say, you would have been marking Harry Kane in
grab
that
a post, always grab a post, and then you never get another job. It's one of them.
Do you know what I think? The only thing is that Harry Kane's not one of them where he's going to come towering into the box and go and edit. Do you know what I mean? No, smash it.
He's a Pomo position, and
yeah.
he goes into those little areas. Because how many times does he get those far posts? Because defenders switch off, and he wanted to fight him, Trippier. And as soon as he grabs hold of him like that, as soon as he grabs hold of Harry Kane, he knows he's got Trippier because he can hold off. He can hold him once he gets goal side. There's nothing he can. You can't get past. You don't let the defender touch the centre forward. They want you to grab you in those situations when you're close on goal because they've got the power to just keep you off. And he only needs a yard and he scores. So don't let them touch you. Stay in the post out of the way.
Harry Kane, at least 10 Premier League goals, 9 seasons in a row. He's the 4th man ever to do that. Lee knows the other 3, but
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't want to share.
Anyway.
Let's get back to Newcastle. Here is the winning manager, Eddie Howe.
Eddie, huge celebrations in front of the Newcastle supporters at the end. Did that feel like a really big one?
Well, it was a big win because it's our most recent game and we were determined to try and come here and be positive, as we have been all season. Great display from us, I thought. We deserved the win. I don't think there was anything lucky about it. And full credit to all my players.
So how did you do it tactically? I suppose you know they want to lure you on and hit you with a counter. How did you deal with that?
Well, I think the players deserve a lot of credit for how we attack the game. It's all very well me trying to present a game plan, but the players have to buy into it and believe in it. I thought we executed it really well. So it wasn't without problems. You know, they've got world-class players, so there's a lot of adapting and little tweaks and adjustments as that game went on, but full credit to the players for how they implemented it.
Most of the problems in maybe the first 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, they had a few long-range shots early in the game. They had a few counter-attacks that were dangerous where we didn't quite get our positioning right, but once we solved that, I think we were OK.
Can you just explain those tweaks you have to make as the game goes on?
Well, I think you're forever trying to foresee problems, so whether it's adjusting a centre-forward's position, whether you're dropping him deeper or pushing him higher, and the same with all the players in the team, whether you're just trying to get information onto the pitch. It's very difficult here because the noise was so loud that getting information on is very difficult, but the players are very receptive to what we do, and as I said, they deserve all the credit.
First goal, should it have been a goal?
Well, I haven't seen it again. I'm only going on my initial reaction. It looked to me like the two players just came together. I don't know whether there was one more forceful than the other, so it's a collision. Why should that foul go in the way of the defending team rather than the attacking team?
Miguel Almiron got the second goal. It just looked like a classic example of the confidence he's playing with. Does he do that last season? Is he that direct, that confident with his movement?
Mickey's always been a fantastic player, but I think he's just adding the goals to his game. And whether he does that last year, I don't know. But at the moment, when he's in front of goal, you think he's going to score. He's done that type of finish quite a lot. Took a little deflection, I think, off the goalkeeper before going in, but again, his performance today was excellent, along with the rest of the team.
I guess in terms of your improvement, there'll always be questions about the money, and that's part of it. But Miguel Almiron, Joel Linton, does that show that a lot of the hard work's been done on the training pitch as well? A lot of the improvements coming from that? Well,
I think the problem with that is when you associate with money, that it takes away the credit for the players. And I will stand up for them and say a lot of these players were here anyway. The ones we have recruited, I think we've recruited wisely. But let's give the credit for the performance. Don't look at how the team's been put together.
So does this show, I mean, you're up to 4th now, so Newcastle aren't just a team for tomorrow, you're a team for today?
Long way to go. Very tight division. A lot of swings, I'm sure, throughout the season. We'll enjoy the moment, enjoy the run we're on, but certainly we won't be getting ahead of ourselves.
What can you do, though? What can you achieve?
Try and win next week.
Come on, Eddie.
Well, no, try and win next week, and I think that's how it has to be. I'm sure people will talk us up. It's up to us now to try and live up to that. But I don't want to put any external pressure on a group of players that are giving me everything. As long as we continue to do that, we'll take what happens.
Is it important, though, to enjoy it, like you did at the end at full time? You know that it's only one win, but enjoy the moment.
I think it's very important for the players to enjoy the moment. I do talk to them a lot about when you win and do a good job, live in that moment for as long as you can. For me, it's slightly different. I'm already thinking about next week.
Not already?
Well, yeah, I do, and that's how I'm built, because I want to win next week, and I've got to try and prepare the group as best I can.
Well done.
Thank you.
He is a winner. And when he was sitting here with us after the game, he was talking about missing that winning feeling, and you could tell right at full time. I know what he's saying now is he's thinking about the next game, which is Villa at home, but right at full time, he let his guard down. He is enjoying that moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and he should do. But when it's in you like that, I don't know what you were like as a player. I was always brought up to believing when you win a game, you have a brief spell of celebration, and then it's what's next. What's next? It's the only way to be. And with him, he's been a player, and now he's transferred that into being a manager. And he was not going to change it. He might have half a glass of, bubbly tonight or whatever he does to celebrate, but I think he's already... The game is so complicated now as far as putting together game plans. There's so much data that you can look at that if you don't start straight after, you run out of time before you get to, before you're doing stuff with the players. He'll already be looking at the the Villa squad, how they're going to set up, what problems, because he can't. You won't be able to switch off sitting at home. I can tell you.
We know when Darren won, he never went out on Saturday.
No,
night,
of course.
And what?
He didn't win very often. In his 19...
You're not going to let him get away with it.
In his 19 clubs.
19 clubs.
He's in the 100 club, remember?
I know.
Yeah. So he did win once or twice.
Yeah, I know.
Very rare occasions.
100
Right,
goals.
let's move on to the other side of the story. That is a third defeat in 5 games for Tottenham, twice in a week, of course. Here's their manager, Antonio Conte.
Antonio, Newcastle's first goal was obviously a huge moment in the game. Did you think it was a fair goal?
But before of this situation, for sure we created many chances to score, and maybe if you are better in finishing, probably you were with the you could score. Yeah. Then it happened this situation, and but I don't want to comment referee decision. I repeat, and I want to follow this line because I don't want to comment.
OK. What did you make of the Tottenham performance then? You mentioned the first maybe 15, 20 minutes where you were quite threatening. After that, not so good?
Not so good. And then you consider a goal, a long ball, and we, I think we could do much better in this situation. And in our best moment, Newcastle scored the first goal. In the second goal, they scored in counter-attack. And then it was really difficult, to come back. In the second half, we tried to. We scored 1 goal. We tried to make the deliver, to the draw, but we didn't do good enough.
At half-time, did you feel like you were facing a really difficult situation? Obviously, 2-0 down, and you'd asked the fans to stay close, but it was a really frustrated stadium at half-time, wasn't it?
Really frustrated. The fans has to understand that I think we are doing our best in every moment, and also today the commitment was really high. Then for sure, I repeat, and this moment we have to face a difficult situation for us, because when you don't have 3, 4 players in the squad, and you are in trouble. You are in trouble, and we have to face, to manage very well this situation, to try to overcome together. Then if others see other aspects, and I think that without 4 players, the squad doesn't allow to lose for players in this moment.
Do you feel that was a big factor today, the fatigue in some players and the injuries to others?
But I always said before to start this second path that the important team, the team that they are going to fight to win the title contenders, you'll see the team during this period when you play every 3 days. Because when you go to play every 3 days, you need to have a depth squad and a strong squad with great quality. And I think that we have only just started our process. And last season, I repeat. And from Conference League, now we are playing the Champions League. We are trying to do and to improve the situation step by step. But you need the time and patience. This has to be very clear for everybody, because I repeat, then I want to be honest. And with my experience, I continue to tell that we are doing well, the best situation, but we need the time, patience, and to have this type of problems to understand the way to overcome in the future. No, but not January, not January, not July, and when you start this type of process and to build, if you want to build something important, and I can tell the line to follow, and then I repeat, and it will be important to go step by step. Now we have to finish this period of games, and then in January we'll see with the club where we are, which improvement we did, the way that we have to follow, and together with the club. But the club knows very well, because I was very clear also in this summer that I said, pay attention, because we need time, patience, and to try to improve the squad, because if we want to play in Premier League and in Europe, especially Champions League, you need to improve the squad, and especially for these moments, because and when you play, the injury is behind, and when happen and 3, 4, 5 players, it becomes dangerous, and it becomes a problem for a team like Tottenham.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.